as we're moments away from the tip-off between VCU and Temple. You can hear them behind me right now. We've got our foam fingers here. We've got our black and gold t-shirts. We've got sunglasses. LC Bird has dominated the Dominion District for over a decade, but Cosby was trying to knock the Skyhawks off the hill and gain their first ever victory over LC Bird. Did you notice North Turner, former Redskin coach? He was the last Redskin coach to win a division title before this season. The Washington Redskins erased 4 bad years of football Sunday night by beating their arch rivals Dallas to win the NFC East title. I'm with one of them who needs a little bit of help to make the postseason, 4-time champ Jeff Gordon. We were talking about it before we came on air. The simplest scenario for you to get in is obviously to win, and you're going to need a little bit of help along the way.
Absolutely.
The VCU men's team had a successful first year in the Atlantic 10, winning 20 matches and going undefeated in the conference. But it wouldn't be a complete success without a league title. We'll consider it a success. Baseball in Virginia. The sweet sound of aluminum meeting the ball. The pop of the glove. And the bond that brings people closer. All things that Paul Keyes loved about the sport.
The baseball field was home for him. There was nowhere that he felt more comfortable.
The first annual Key Dog Strikeout Cancer Classic is a celebration of the life of Paul Keyes, who passed away last November after battling cancer. And no two schools symbolized his love of baseball than VCU and ODU.
Very, very humbling, especially the two teams being VCU and ODU with such a great history.
We're the ones, I think, that have a vested interest in this game, and I think both the university have done a great job in pretty short notice of putting this thing together.
The Rams and Monarchs believe this classic is the perfect way to continue the legacy of a man who meant so much to both schools. Keyes was the head coach at VCU for 18 seasons, leading the Rams to 8 NCAA tournaments. But before that, he was a 4-year letter winner at Old Dominion, holding several school records.
He just loved the kids. He loved developing them. I had asked him when we first started dating if he ever thought about coaching in the pros, and he said no. He loved this level. He loved the instruction, and he wanted to see kids play to their fullest potential, and I think that meant the most to him.
But for him, it was his avenue to teach young men and to reach young people and help them become better citizens.
VCU head coach Shaka Smart has told us throughout the course of the season his team has done a real good job of turning the page to the next game. It certainly showed against Akron last night, and they will definitely have to do that tomorrow afternoon against Michigan. Last night's pregame pep talk was simple for VCU.
Be quiet.
The Rams' Shaka Smart understood that 12th-seeded Akron was dangerous and didn't give his close friend Keith Dambrot any chance of pulling off the upset as they routed the Zips 88-42 in round 2 of the NCAA tournament.
I was pleased that we followed the plan. We really wanted to deny passes. We wanted to pressure the basketball. We wanted to get deflections. I thought our guys did that.
That's what we do. I mean, when we make shots, we're able to get into the press and, create turnovers. And if we have presses that, if we're missing, we still can get in the press. But still, when we're making shots, it's all good.
VCU's task on Saturday will be tougher as they will face former Richmond Spider head coach John Beilein's Michigan Wolverines, essentially a road game for the Rams.
If guys come ready to play, wanting to press, wanting to do everything Coach Smart wants us to do, then it's going to always work. But it's just a mindset thing, and we got to want to do it.
Their game travels. Some teams' games don't travel. When you do this, you can have a bad shooting night, but you get layups out of forcing 18 to 20 turnovers, that game travels.
That will be game 1 of 2 tomorrow afternoon here at the Palace of Auburn Hills beginning at 12:15. You can see that game right here on CBS 6. The Richmond Spiders will look to extend their 2-game winning streak tonight at home against George Washington at the top of the hour. It's a huge game for Richmond because they are tied with the Colonials in a logjam at 6-6 in the A-10 standings. They will be helped by a much more experienced front court than which they started the season with. Senior forward Derek Williams is back from his ankle injury, but freshman Deion Taylor, Terry Allen, and Alonzo Nelson-Ododo has played significant minutes filling in for him and are much more experienced heading towards the end of their conference schedule.
Those guys are very experienced players now.
This might not be the right time for Virginia Tech to extend their winning streak to 2 games tonight, and number 5 Miami at the top of the hour. The Canes are coming off an embarrassing loss at Wake last Saturday, their first ACC loss of the season. Tech has lost 4 of the last 5 meetings to Miami, having won at Coral Gables since 2009. We'll have an update tonight at 11. Meanwhile, some CIAA tournament action down in Charlotte. The women's team of Virginia State fell to Virginia Union 57-55. Lady Panthers advanced to the semifinals, while the Trojans men's team will play down in Charlotte against St. Augustine's tonight at 7. And staying with the Virginia State CIAA theme, former Trojan head football coach Lou Anderson will be inducted into the CIAA Hall of Fame Friday in Charlotte. Anderson led Virginia State to 2 CIAA titles and was named Coach of the Year twice in his 12 seasons with the Trojans. During his time in Ettrick, he molded and developed football players into men, and ultimately was his greatest accomplishment.
If you dress good, you'll play good. And I really believe that. I think pride in what you wear and the way you practice and the way you carry yourself has a lot to do with it. So I think my legacy would be that I want young men that first were young men and did the right thing.
If you dress well, you play well. I kind of like that. They can look back at their 2012 season as one of the most memorable ones in team history, from going 3-6 to winning 7 straight to their first NFC East championship since 1999. At FedEx Field in Harrisonburg at the Superdome, reporting from the Georgia Dome in Charlottesville at Redskins Park in Ashburn. From Auburn Hills, Sean Robertson, CBS 6 Sports.